If you can be able to see the beauty or the strength that is in your diversity or your differences, then I think you should push for a change. Now, when do you pull back or step away? I think when your values have diverted as a team, either you alone or more people in the team. If you find that, let's say first, if the goal is no longer the goal, what was the goal in the first place is no longer the goal, you can pull back. If what you joined the team and the team was aiming for this and now they're aiming for that, and probably you don't want that for the moment, I think it's a good point to step back.
That young people actually over-communicate. No one is going to punish you for over-communicating, but someone is going to be punishing you for under-communication. So it's a good thing that we do communicate.
The reason is if you keep forcing yourself when people are heading this way and you're not, there's high chances of you being rebellious or being very negative and pessimistic about the journey that the team is on. But if you realize that where they're heading is not where you are heading anymore, it's a good time for you to step back. Another thing, if you find that the beliefs or the values that you all had as a team are no longer the same, it happens, people evolve, people grow and they change. Lastly, but most importantly, be teachable. Be teachable. Where you are at today, there are things you know, but also there are things you don't know. So be open to learning. And I think it's one of the temptations that we have as young people. The thinking that, yes, I know I've got this. Yes, you know something, but you can know more. Is anyone allergic to knowing more? Everyone.
Good evening.
I am well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. How was your week?
My week was busy but fine.
Wow.
I survived.
Glad to
Made it to Friday. Yes.
Okay, that's good. How about Frank? Share the highlight of your week.
It was so demanding, but also fulfilling. I've been a professional HR for almost, now I'm going to make my fourth year within HR, but I've been in administration for almost 6 good years. And honestly, before I go direct to the question, I want to thank the management of COSA, but also the team behind the thing. At our levels, it might really be seen like we are trying to do our best, but it's the good thing we can do. One of the greatest people say, if you can do the important thing, then do that. The thing, if you can do something and it is important for someone, then do that. I think it is important for young professionals to learn from this and grow from here. So I'm here to share with you. I guess because I began with the introduction, you have to repeat the question because I actually wanted to say that before I go direct to the things, because I normally don't always like things which are so so protocol thing. So that's why I actually want to share with us what I have tonight, and then we can all learn from it, me and you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Frank, for your good introduction. We can clap for him. Yeah. The question was an example of a time when you were part of a highly motivated team and what made it work.
I got direct to the answer. One, I want to tell the audience, all of us here, myself, I am a witness of growth. There is no such a time that I skipped a position. I began low-key, low, very low, and I kept growing. So a time when I saw a team, like the time when I was into a highly motivated team and what made it work. I will be precise. By that time, I think it was my second year at ISCO, Intersex Security Company. I began there as a career guidance. And one thing that I saw within the team that made it work and highly motivated is that we were really eager to learn. And the management facilitated this. And I want us to, actually, if you see a management trying to facilitate you, like Cornerstone is an organization, and if you're seeing this thing coming up, organizing this night, you're not paying for it and coming over to hear these insights, I mean, it's so good that we are so eager to learn. It's good for you to note down the things, the tips, and one of the things that helped me by that time was I was eager to learn, but the whole team was eager to learn because they had, by that time they had recruited a few of young professionals and we were so eager to learn and it made it work, but also following the guidance for the people who have been in the company for some years. With the experience, it also helped us to work.
Wow, that's a good answer. So I want also to hear the answer from Gisele, the same question. Yeah, Gisele, tell us.
Hearing the question, I'm thinking of two teams that I've been through for the most part of my life, and one makes them work, which is the same thing. Since you talked about the professional world, the first team that I've been in for all my life, I'll say that, which is my family, and then where I'm currently working. One thing I see in common that makes both team work, before some people give me side eyes of like a family, how does a family become a team? Maybe I'll get there after, but it's the willingness of the people to be part of the team. Yeah, if people they find themselves in the team and they really want to be there, it's the first thing that makes the team work. And then communicating, working together, and I don't even know why we're having this panel because Enoch said everything that teams need to have. So all the things that Enoch said, but really the first step for me that I've found is people wanting to be part of that team is what makes the team work. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Gisele. What I hear mostly from what they are saying, it all goes to attitude, the attitude a person has. As Frank said, like people who are willing to learn. There is usually this common saying here called like if you stop learning, you start dying, right? So Frank mentioning of something people willing to learn in a team is a very strong factor that makes teams motivated and keep being productive. And Gisele mentioning like the attitude of you liking the team you are in and loving to be part of it and working with it is also goes into attitude. So I have another question for Frank. I believe in your organization you work with young people. So I want you to help to share with us some of the ways you've seen young people unintentionally or unwillingly kill a team spirit or effectiveness, yeah? And the lessons we can learn from those mistakes those young people do, yeah?
Wow, that's interesting. Before I got direct to the answers, the statistics show that Rwanda has more percentage of youth than the grown-up people. And so there are nowhere you're going to be working and not working with young people, mostly with the organizations that are going, even in the ministries. So young people, we have an assignment, and it's not something so easy, but we can make it. So direct to the question, what are the mistakes that young people make? I highlighted them and I'll be sharing with us. One mistake is focusing on personal success over team goals. So you find out people are working together, but maybe Gisele has her plans. Instead of focusing on team goals, for her, she's focusing on her. It's not a bad thing, but the priority should be working for the common goal for the team, not actually spending much of their time working on how, like, focusing on personal success. The lesson on that, the best team members make that was the mistake, like prioritizing personal achievement, recognition, competition. Lesson, the best team members make those around them better. Like, it's good thing that you learn from me and I learn from you. So it's not so good that I remain with what I have, but I have to take also what you have and we make a common goal. The second thing that actually young people tend to do as a mistake is poor communication. Some of us actually like imagine that people know what they are doing. No, it's a good thing that I make my boss know what I'm doing. So instead of under communicating, it's a good thing that young people actually over communicate. No one is going to punish you for over communicating, but someone is going to be punishing you for under communication. So it's a good thing that we do communicate. The third mistake is avoiding responsibility or blaming others. We tend not to be accountable when it comes to responsibilities, but we also have the urge and we want the easy things. Most of the things will take us time and we have to be so responsible. The negative attitude. Maybe I can even stop here because there are many mistakes. You can Google them, you can see them. But I wanted to actually stop from the attitude. Our attitudes in HR, because like I said, I'm an HR and I do recruitment. There's the principle that says you hire attitude and train skill. It's not a good thing to actually hire someone with more skills and less like a negative attitude. You either go for someone with the right attitude but who is able to learn, like you can groom them. But you bring someone in with a negative attitude, with the negativity, like Enoch was saying, that person is actually going to demolish the morale for the team, and you wouldn't love it as an HR. So those are the mistakes that young people tend to make. But like if you work on that thing, more of the things go with the attitude. Like all our issues, all our problems, most of them go with attitude. Negative attitude is something that I really I denounce tonight. Like, let's have a better attitude. Let's work on our attitude. Something is going to come out and we will shine as young leaders. Thank you so much.
Wow. So I love how Frank ended the sharing, like, I denounce. I denounce the negative attitude in the team. Those were really crucial factors that we should avoid if we want to build really effective teams. And next is Gisele. You know, like we all here work in teams at work, or you even mentioned families. And I want to know, like, it is inevitable that we're going to face challenges during working in a team, basically. So I want you to share or to help us understand when is the right time to step back or walk away from a difficult team, like a team that is facing challenges, or continuing to push for change. Yeah.
I think that question has two parts. Like, when do you push for change, and
Yeah.
then when do you step back? I'll start with the second part of when do you push back. When do you push for change? Sorry. I think people evolve, right? And we are different. I think when you see that the differences that you have in your team can make something good, then you can push for a change. Sometimes people have not yet understood the power that is in their diversity. And then just because you see, because the way we are as human beings, when we see diversity, our first response is resistance, right? So many people are tempted to withdraw from a team because they're seeing someone who's different from them. Let's say, for example, I am quiet, someone else is very social, and then because we find ourselves in a team, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to work with this person, they're too much, and then I withdraw. I don't think in that kind of like scenario, or those other scenarios where you find diversity, you should back off, but I think you should push for a change and say, how can we work together? As someone who is very social and someone who's maybe reserved, what is something that they have that I don't have? What is something that I have they don't have? And then how can we have a common ground together? And then what is this common ground going to bring? What can this common ground make the team look like? What's the new thing that can come as a result of that common ground if you find it? So if you can be able to see the beauty or the strength that is in your diversity or your differences, then I think you should push for a change. Now, when do you pull back or step away? I think when your values have diverted as a team, either you alone or more people in the team. If you find that, let's say first, if the goal is no longer the goal, what was the goal in the first place is no longer the goal, you can pull back. If what you joined the team and the team was aiming for this and now they're aiming for that, and probably you don't want that for the moment, I think it's a good point to step back. The reason is, if you keep forcing yourself when people are heading this way and you're not, there's high chances of you being rebellious or being very negative and pessimistic about the journey that the team is on. But if you realize that where they're heading is not where you are heading anymore, it's a good time for you to step back. Another thing, if you find that the beliefs or the values that you all had as a team are no longer the same, it happens, people evolve, people grow, and they change. And then you find that maybe where you are at in your stages of your life, the interests are different, the things you believe in are different, the things you're pursuing are different with the people in your team. It can also be a good time to step out and step back from that team. Those are the few things I believe that, and if you realize that, one also other thing that maybe people don't like talking about, if you realize that you're starting to complain a lot, maybe it's a time for you to evaluate yourself and see the rebellious spirit that he was saying, Enoch. It doesn't start with just one day now you're rebellious. It starts with the small complaints that we all have, right? And then if you keep growing them and you don't take care of them, it might grow into something that is big now. Now, if you find that a team has leaders and every time you are questioning, you are discontented, you are disobedient to the team leaders, maybe for the sake of everyone else in the team, it could be also another time to either evaluate yourself and see if it's not a you problem, or step back from the team, let the other people in the team proceed. Yeah.
Wow. She deserves some appreciation. Wow, that was good, Gisele. And I like the first point you made of pushing if you think the interest, like you are achieving for the team. That's the first point you mentioned, which was also the same as Frank mentioned, of fighting for the common interest of the team. So you can see that is a motivation. Like when you are non-self-centered and you are just fighting on the common ground and the common interest of the team, as you both mentioned. So I think we are learning, right? Sivyo? So quick, we are out of time. I want to ask Frank, it is possible that you can find yourself leading a team that maybe there are people older than you, or even more experienced than you, but you find yourself as their leader or leading them, either long term or short term. So sometimes you can face challenges of opposition. Opposition, maybe they are like, but what are you talking? What are you saying? You have just arrived. You have just joined. What do you mean? Like, how do you make sure you gain respect and be able to lead such a team with which you are a young profession and you have people maybe more experienced than you and older than you? Yeah.
This one I'm not even going to be leading the things because it happened and it's by experience. So it's a good thing to talk out of heart and what happened. It's a good question. And I want us to actually, if you were not paying attention, maybe pay attention for this a minute. One thing is, you will never have experienced good followers. Like venting, being rebellious, having negative attitudes, you will never have those. It's those people that have been so long in the company who actually didn't exhibit a good moral record, who actually didn't have the manners that will be venting and being rebellious against you because you're new or you are even young and leading them. But these are the things you have. I like a few tips on how to go about it. One, do not engage in simple fights. What do I mean? You are a leader, a young professional leading a team. Why would you be exchanging words with someone who is venting and rebellious against you? Maybe you would see, last time you did this, like the more you go deep into that, the more you're giving them room to exploit your emotional gap. I don't know if you're seeing this.
Yes.
So we, in HR, but every company has procedures, policies. We are not there. I respect the family thing and the team thing. When you get into the organization, it is set on the basis of procedures and policies. For the family, you can tolerate. For the company, you are going to be tolerated by warnings. First warning, second warning, last warning, then go home. That's not your father's house. I'm sorry to say. Let's listen together. That's it. So you don't have to engage. One, sit with someone, like even the Bible says it. Sit with someone, a brother, if they maybe do something bad to you. But later on, get to the procedures, what the procedure says. One thing, don't engage in too small fights with your thing. Another thing is, craft your work and get the results. I mean, there is no single boss, no single leader who is going to ignore a person who is delivering and actually give sense to someone who is not delivering. Delivery will help you out than the words, mere words. So deliver. The other thing is be accountable and reliable. I mean, if they want someone, maybe someone is at the office, like be there on time, don't even leave early. If you're not having something to go on work after work, be there, be available, be accountable. And the other thing is never vent against your boss. This one, it's by experience. There is a time when I when I was at Intersex Security Company, it happened that my line manager actually got another offer and they recommended me to be acting on the position. No acting letter, no acting allowance, 1 year down the road. I was so flabbergasted. And I felt like I am so rebellious. I went to my boss like 2 times, 3 times. It was not so professional. The way I went about it, it was not professional. So make known of your grievances to the boss, but in a professional way. I don't know if you get that. Don't rush things. Even if they seem like they are delaying, they know what you're doing. Yeah, they know what you're doing. When you report on time, when you meet deadlines, they know what you're doing. But you're not going to go with what you're doing. Like, you want to show that you're doing this, so they have to respect this, what. No. You be gone. Yeah, they can let you go. So attitude counts, how you go about it counts. The other thing is communication. Communicate clearly and meet deadlines. Know your boss. It's one thing to know the policies and procedures, but it's another thing to know your boss. Some people, if you don't lead them properly, they will end up actually like spearing everything onto you. Honestly. And the other thing is you have to abide with companies' policies. You have to be there. You have to be present. Like show the courage. There's this saying that says who is this? He says, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, soon or later you'll have your haircut. So it's a good thing to be where you want something to happen. Yeah, you're not going to be like, like if you want a haircut and then go to Maranje, I don't know how you're going, like, I don't know how you're going to have a haircut. Go to the barber. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Wow, that was good. I basically like made some points from what you said, and I love that you are a historian. You did history. I know about that. You set a point and you explain, and I love that so much. So you said about for the people who didn't take notes. He mentioned about knowing your responsibilities, like not involving in simple, small fights. You know, that removes a certain level of respect from you. Also, being exemplary as a leader. You don't gain respect from people that don't find you as an example, and also being faithful, being faithful in terms of giving the results people expect from you, you know. So that's basically what I heard from your answer, Frank, and that was so insightful. And I want to go back to Gisele. Gisele, I'm sure you work with a diverse team at your workplace, and also as a family of friends, we encourage this thing of appreciating diversity. And I want to ask Gisele, how does working with a diverse team in terms of age, culture, and background impact motivation and performance? in a team?
Let me start with diverse in age, picking back from what Frank was talking about, how to operate in a team as a young person. So the team that I currently work with, directly, I'm the youngest, and I don't like calling it leading, but it is leading people who are way older. Some of them are even old to be my parents. But what I find that works is that respecting everyone from where they are. As a young person, when you join a team, you shouldn't look down on yourself and say, oh, I'm young. No, they hired you, they saw your ID or your CV, somewhere your name was mentioned, they knew your age. So it's not that they don't know about how young you are. So the fact that irrespective of your age, your quote unquote small experience you have, they still brought you to the team. There's something that your youth can bring to the team. So when you understand that, it also helps you even how you relate with the team. You don't always look at yourself as, oh, I'm the young person. Oh, I don't know things. No, you understand that there's something that I bring to the table. The reason why in a pool of people you were selected to be in that position, it's because they knew that there's something that you can bring. So for my team, how we do that, the way that helps us with motivation and also working together, irrespective of our diversity, we have differences in age, in backgrounds. We have people in North America, we have people working in, someone working in Asia now, in Rwanda and Uganda. We are different in all the ways that can be different. But what makes us work is first having a common goal, and then secondly, having a shared commitment. When we approach work, we don't look at it like, oh, we are Canadians, oh, we are Americans, oh, we are Rwandans, oh, no. It's like, what is this supposed to do? What is this that we want to do? How do we want to do it? And then we do it as human beings, not as Canadians, Rwandans, Ugandans, or any other person. We just approach it as human beings. We don't put personalities or identities in front, we put gifts in front.
Sure.
So what is it that you have that can contribute to this? What is it that you have? And then we all bring all of that together and we work together as a team. And also, there's no such thing as over-communicating. In a team that has diverse people in different ways, there's no such thing as over-communicating. Under-communicating is over-communicating for someone. So the safest place to be in is to over-communicate.
Yeah.
It's not there's no middle ground. It's either you have under-communicated or you have over-communicated. So communicate, no assumptions. Because when there's diversity, there are very thin lines of things going wrong. Right? Even when you didn't intend them to go wrong. So the best thing that you can do is to remove any assumptions from your head. If there's something you're thinking of, say it, speak it, address it to who you want to address instead of you making up things in your mind or assuming things. So you don't assume that someone is going to do something this certain way if you didn't have a conversation with them of how they're going to do it, because people do things differently. So there's no such thing as under-communicating. There's over-communicating is the best thing that can happen to you. And then also, I think particularly for the team that I work in, irrespective of our diversities, we have a commonality. We are all believers. We are children of God. So we don't belong to the Rwandan Republic only. We don't belong to the Canadian nation only, or the Americans, or the Asian. We belong to one kingdom, and that's the kingdom of God. So when we approach things, we apply the principles of that kingdom that we all belong in, not our different identities. The first and most significant identity for us is that we are children of God and we belong to the kingdom of God. So what are the principles there? they are the same irrespective of which part of the earth you will find yourself in. So even for other people in other teams, what are the things that are the commonalities in your team? And then when you approach anything that you're doing together, from drawing from those commonalities, then it becomes easy. There's no such thing as diversity to you. People can see you different, you have different talents, different gifts, different personalities, but at the end of the day, it looks like you are in one spirit because you've chosen to water the common things that you have together as a team.
Wow, let's appreciate Gisele. Anyone else enjoying hearing from them like I'm doing? Yes, we're enjoying. Me too. So it's just like time is not on our side, but I could have asked a lot of questions. I really have a lot, but for a matter of time, I'm even sad. I want us to keep listening. By the way, I love your attention. You are really attentive, and I'm loving it. So we have one more question that I'm going to ask to, you're all going to answer it. In one statement, what advice would you give to a young person looking to thrive in a team, in their team? We'll start with Fran.
Wow, in one statement.
Yes, in one statement.
Okay. Is this catchword I like to use ever since I began my career. It's called Strive. It stands for start small, think possibilities, invest wisely, visualize success, expand carefully. God
I
bless
beg your
you.
pardon, Frank. I beg your pardon on that statement. It was too packed that I can't even,
Yeah.
I beg your pardon, please.
It's strive.
Okay.
It's a small word, but it has a big meaning. Like you start small, think possibilities, invest wisely, visualize success. Yeah.
You people.
Start small, think possibilities, invest wisely. Allah. No, wait.
No, Rebecca.
Start small, think possibilities, reach a little further.
Okay.
Then it is I, invest wisely, visualize success, and expand carefully.
Wow, wow, wow. Let's appreciate him.
No, thank you so much. Before maybe I hand in the mic, I always like to speak from my heart. There's this person who I heard saying, when you speak from the heart, it goes direct to the heart. But when you speak from the head, it goes direct to the head. So it's a good thing that we touch hearts before we ask for hands and heads. And that's why the reason I'm telling you this, the strive thing, is that I've tried everything. Like, I'm making my 32 years this year, October. But there's nothing, maybe little or big, I haven't tried in my capabilities. One thing is for sure, there are no shortcuts.
Wow. No shortcuts.
No kuripe. God bless you.
Thank you, Frank. No shortcuts. If you don't get the strive thing, at least know that in the experience Frank has, there is no shortcuts. You know? So Gisele, tell us, what statement do you have for a person looking to strive in the team?
It's funny how when I hear that word, an acronym came to my mind, and Frank also had an acronym, so I guess the Holy Spirit,
The Holy Spirit
is one
yeah.
here. So one statement I would say, if you're looking to be a good team member, or you want to create a good team, be fat. FAT, be flexible. One thing I'll tell you, no one wants someone who is not flexible. We all don't want those people, right? As young people, tuitawafunga mutwe. So, nilo ukunda kukorana na wafunga mutwe 24/7, year in, year out. If you don't want that person, don't be that person as well. Secondly, be available. There's something in you, but then if you're not available, it won't be of use and people won't know it. So be available for people, okay? Don't be too busy. I know you're in a generation that everyone wants to mind their business, be on their own thing, but if you're looking to be a good team member in any capacity anyway, be available for those people that you want to be part of. Lastly, but most importantly, be teachable. Be teachable. Where you are at today, there are things you know, but also there are things you don't know. So be open to learning. And I think it's one of the temptations that we have as young people. The thinking that, yes, I know I've got this. Yes, you know something, but you can know more. Is anyone allergic to knowing more? If you're not allergic to knowing more, so why do you resist learning? Be teachable. Be open to learning. Even if someone you're learning from, they're not your best choice per se, at least take what they're teaching you and then go. You don't have to pay so much attention to the person. You don't have to like your teacher. Yes, take it from a teacher. You don't have to like me. As long as you're taking what I'm teaching you, then it will be good with you. You go with that.
I want to appreciate our speakers. Let's appreciate them. And the moderator. Yeah, so let's give it back to Rebecca to continue with the program. Yeah.